Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today I will be interviewing a legend in 80s movies. Oh, I can't believe it. It's my first interview from the original Nightmare on Elm Street, not the sequels. I'll be interviewing Rod himself, Nick Corri, aka Jsu Garcia. And I'm so fucking excited. Oh my god. I loved him in the movie Gotcha, the movie he made right after Nightmare on Elm Street. Gotcha is a very underrated comedy thriller with Anthony Edwards, and he plays Anthony Edwards' sidekick in that movie, and he just steals the whole movie. I mean, he's just great playing a guy who pretends to be a Latin lover in order to get girls, and it's so hilarious. And I'm interviewing him today. Find out why he changed his name back. Find out, what upcoming projects he has and all that stuff. And just, find out what happened when making those movies. I think it's going to be a really great show. And I'm just freaking excited because I'm so lucky with the people that I get on the show. So, here is my interview with Nick Corri, a.k.a. Jsu Garcia.
Hello.
Jsu, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Are we live?
I'm recording, yeah.
Okay.
It's such an honor. Thank you for taking the time this morning. This is really awesome.
Sure.
So did you know early on that you wanted to act?
Yeah. Since I was 16.
As early as 16. Did you do community theater and plays in school?
No. Maybe one play, but I studied in acting classes, private acting classes.
Mm-hmm. Did you train in New York?
No. All L.A.
All L.A. Where did the name Nick Corri come from?
Nick Corri came from my agent, Ed Lamato.
Mm-hmm.
Up in the day, I think there were only two Latin people that were famous.
Yeah.
Ricardo Montalban and maybe Eric Estrada. And then
right.
The name would kind of pin you down.
Mm-hmm.
So, people basically, he was smart. He was like, oh, you'll be Italian. So he gave me Nick Corri. He was Richard Gere and Mel Gibson's agent.
Wow.
Passed away already. Good man.
Mm-hmm. And then later you decided to change your name back.
Yeah, because, Andy Garcia comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky Bauer was really Steven Echeverria or something like that.
Yeah.
Rocky Bauer was in Scarface. I mean, then everybody, Benicio del Toro. And then, I guess I came out because it was safe,
Yeah.
At this point, Andy Garcia killed it in The Godfather and A Million Ways to Die in L.A. I forgot.
Mm-hmm. So your first movie was the iconic A Nightmare on Elm Street. How did you get so lucky into playing the role of Rod?
You know what? It was just God. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. That was just God taking care of me. Now at 55,
Mm-hmm.
I've done 71. I'm credited for 71 things I've done. I'm retired. I don't want to do acting anymore, and I do other things. So I would say, looking back, I thought it's not luck. I think it was, you're destined for it, or you're not.
Mm-hmm. What was your initial reaction? Oh, go ahead.
At the time, nobody knew anything. Nobody knows anything. Johnny Depp wasn't Johnny Depp. I wasn't me, and Wes wasn't Wes. We were just all struggling to do something. And the initial thing is I was going to quit because I wasn't getting any kind of job.
Mm-hmm.
And then I nailed this, and then Johnny got it, and we all got this movie, and we kind of all wanted to make Hamlet out of a horror film. And you know, story's everything. I think Wes Craven killed it with a good story.
Mm-hmm. Certainly did. Was there any moment on the set where you thought to yourself, this is going to be something special?
No. I would say, you know, I just didn't know enough. I think it was my first picture. And I wasn't seasoned enough to know anything except, thank God, I'm a working actor.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one would be Gotcha, but it's all that stuff is, I mean, no one knows, you know, so.
Yeah.
But I think I didn't know the fame, I didn't realize what Nightmare on Elm Street was until I did horror convention.
Mm-hmm.
Because I never stopped there. I kept going. But, you know, Freddie, Robert Englund kept working and Heather kept working on the same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't. Neither did Johnny. We just moved on. And then when I look back, you know, I don't want to really work, but occasionally it's fun to make some money on the horror con. Then you realize, geez, this movie is really an iconic piece of Americana. You know, apple pie, and you know, you're part of something that's kind of cool that keeps multiplying. Like young people keep asking me for autographs and paying me, which means that's when I really looked at. That's when you can really see how much you've affected the culture.
Yeah, the stamp of approval from the audience.
Yeah, you're starting to say, wow, you know, this thing keeps going. It's not just, I'm 55, it's not just people on my age, but 11-year-old people are fascinated by it. 10-year-old, 15, 20. That means it keeps going generation to generation. So it's a film that, you know, it does, you know, it still, it still contributes to the productions. And I think Nightmare on Elm Street 1 was on the edge of digital effects versus the real effects.
Yeah.
Real analog effects. Or, yeah, something like that. I don't know the right wording for it, but the guys, I don't remember their names, but the guys that were on Nightmare on Elm Street, they really made the effects. I forgot who was the father of the effects guy, and that guy did the Star Wars movie. But,
Greg Canham?
Who?
Greg Canham?
No, he's the father of all effects. And this guy, everybody copied. But he did all, like, the, you know, real effects, like, modeling, making small models, and depth of field and perception and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like they had, in Nightmare on Elm Street, they had, like, real tongues coming out of a phone. You know what I mean? Like, and everything was real. It was like, it wasn't yet, green screened or digitally or any kind of new kind of technology and printed on it. Kind of like the first Star Wars movie. It was all models and stuff.
Was it David B. Miller?
No, this guy, the editor of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And he worked for Lucas, and this guy comes from that kind of world.
Okay.
I forgot. There's huge books on this guy. I forgot, but
mm-hmm.
I can't remember it. But this guy, like they really did fill up a tub of water when the guy's claws are coming in between her legs.
Yeah.
So, like the room that Tina was killed in was a rotating room that Fred Astaire was developed with Fred Astaire and that dance move in some movie where he's dancing on the ceilings and the walls.
Oh yeah.
It was all classic effect, real shit. So somebody went to school on it, and Bob Shea, they all risked a lot to get the movie out. I thought it was.
I know it's something you don't see nowadays. So you got along pretty well with the cast?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've met Heather and Amanda on several occasions. They're pretty nice. I met Ronnie one time. I made her cry because I told her how much I loved her singing voice. She's a very nice lady.
Yeah, Ronnie Blakely. I love her. How's she doing?
She's doing really good. Every day she's posting something political or something she's passionate about on Facebook, and she's a very smart, very insightful lady. Were you satisfied with your death scene?
Yeah, I not much to it. They just hang me.
Yeah. I asked because some people have told me that they weren't satisfied with their death scene, so that's why I had to ask.
I don't think we had, nobody really was a diva or a movie star. No one really had a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, we all trusted Wes, whatever he told us.
And you later worked with Wes again on New Nightmare and Vampire in Brooklyn. Was he the same director on all three movies, or did he advance in the later movies?
Wes I think Wes was, I think Wes was a closet, he was a great director, but it was more to Wes that was being tapped too, he just got pigeonholed in this whole genre of horror, and I think he was potentially a much more, like a Scorsese type, could have been.
Mm-hmm.
Because he worked with this lady producer, I forgot her name, and then they were doing other things. And I think there was a situation he told me about Miramax where he had, Miramax basically parked his, kind of like kill his dreams. They had a project together
Mm-hmm.
at the height of his career. And didn't he do Scream?
He did do Scream.
Yeah, so this is like, I always thought that was a good thing for him. So he was really getting up there. And then Vampire in Brooklyn was great. I was a friend of his and a competitor in racquetball for making bets. And I bet him.
Mm-hmm.
I bet him I could beat him. If I beat him, he'd give me a part in Vampire in Brooklyn. There was no part. We made it up. He just put me in the movie and we improvised.
Nice.
A cop, and ended up improvising and getting a much bigger scene out of it. And then I had the leather jacket. Then I bartered the leather jacket to give me a part in the next Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him my leather jacket from Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh. And then comes my favorite.
I lost touch with him.
You lost touch with him?
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time you saw him?
I was directing a picture and I wanted him kind of like appreciated at a dinner, and I was kind of like, we were friends on many levels.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to be a director.
Mm-hmm.
So I was approaching him more on a director's thing, and he had nothing to say. I mean, he was very quiet, talk.
Yeah.
We always go to the same place in the valley, sushi.
Wow. And then, mm-hmm. And then comes my favorite role that you did back in the day that I think you should have won an Oscar for, Manolo in Gotcha. How did you get that role?
That was Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp said, "Hey, dude, I just read a script. You need to look at it." And a friend of mine was the writer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was basically begging him for the role because he was going to give it to Ethan Morales.
Mm-hmm.
So I was very, very grateful. It was Johnny Depp that gave me the script.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's such a great role. And the funny thing is, back in the mid-'80s, there was this trend in movies where you'd see an Americanized Latino dude pretend to be a native Latino to get girls. That was like almost a cliche back then. But you took it and you just ran with it.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was a studio system.
Mm-hmm.
Studios loved me. Universal was really hot. And
Mm-hmm.
it was good. Cable brought Gotcha alive because it didn't do too well in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
So cable was coming up, and I had more play on cable. It was great. And then I got the next one, Wildcats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had great chemistry with Anthony Edwards in it, and him and Jeff Canoe had just done Revenge of the Nerds, so this was a big departure for both of them because it's a Cold War thriller with comedy in it.
I thought Anthony Edwards was awesome, and I just recently watched it on Netflix in South America, showing it to some friends. And he's funny. He's hilarious. I love his humor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like, I love him, but I didn't think it was all right on ER, but he's a very funny dude.
Yeah.
And Top Gun was great. He was great in Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with him. So happy for him. Jeff Canoe's my hero. Jeff Canoe really expanded the Manolo role because when Jeff's fun because you can talk to Jeff about stuff, and he's the one that created the Say No More.
Yeah.
I kept asking questions as actors do, and I was like, well, who's mostly just uneducated stuff. I was like, who's Carlos the terrorist? And what does he do? And people are looking for me, and that Carlos the terrorist was a very prolific terrorist, and let's be honest. So I didn't know much about him. I knew he was the jackal. So I was, I didn't know that much. My thing was about comedy, and he's a guy that bullshits himself into getting in the girl's pants.
Yeah.
Doing the whole skit of Carlos the terrorist is hilarious. A lot of people don't get that joke, but it was funny.
Yeah.
To Jeff Canoe, that was the thing between me and Jeff, expanding that, and giving the character an arc. That was the writers.
Mm-hmm.
Where another guy, Lawrence was a good friend of mine, and Don't Cry, It's Only Thunder, he wrote that book.
Yeah.
Jeff Canoe's the bomb, you know.
Mm-hmm. He is. He's a good craftsman, good director. Did you enjoy being in Paris?
I loved it. I couldn't believe it. You know, Latin guy, no passport, from the ghetto, gets taken to Paris at 20-something.
Mm-hmm.
It's changed after that. And then I went to Italy on my own while they shot the Berlin stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the beginning of my travels. I love traveling. That's all I do.
Mm-hmm. And what was Linda Ferrentino like to work with? I heard she can be a challenge.
You know what? I love her. I don't know anything about that. I've always, I had like a teenage crush on her.
Mm-hmm.
Linda Ferrentino is a great actress and great person, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love her. I never heard anything. I saw her. She's a basketball player. I saw her at the gym where shooting ball.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That was in the 90s, late 90s. She had done Men in Black. I lost touch of her, but she's one of the great actresses of all time. I know.
I think so too. She's very talented. I mean, she can do comedy, she can do drama, and I hope she makes a comeback. I don't know what she's been doing, but she is a very talented actress.
You know what? She's like one of those Lauren Bacall types, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Who kept going.
Yeah.
The real deal. I always, she was way above my pay grade. She was somebody I admired, and I think she did a Matthew Modine movie, right? What?
Oh yeah, Vision Quest.
Yeah, so she was, you know, to me, she was badass.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
I thought Jeff's casting was great. The music was great. It was at a time where, you know, studio systems were risking and letting newcomers come around, and I really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those movies I can watch anytime over and over again. I did last night, and I just love that movie. How did you get Wildcats?
Wildcats was golden. I just had another audition. You know, once you get in, you get a job. Back in the day, great. TV wasn't important, and so you didn't get all this migration from TV into film. If you got one film, you can possibly get the next one, and then it just didn't stop. And then Wildcats was you know, coming. And then Warner Brothers, I jumped off you know, I didn't get I was offered Heartbreak Ridge and a bunch of stuff in Warner Brothers that I turned away from.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why, you know, who knows. But I didn't want to be the sidekick all the time. And it was the Latin sidekick in every movie at Warner Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I'm not going to judge myself. I just made choices. They're not good or bad, but I made choices. And I chose out of the kind of formula things that they were doing. But I did love doing Wildcats Golden Hot. And Kurt Russell was always on the set.
Mm-hmm.
Dinah Ross came on the set.
Wow.
It's great stuff. Wildcats was fun because it was the beginning of a lot of us taking off. I didn't take off nearly as awesome as Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson did.
And McKelty Williamson.
Yeah, McKelty Williams. It was really bizarre shit. Like, I'm telling Woody Harrelson, don't do television, it's terrible for you, and then he ends up doing Cheers, and of course his career takes off. And it's like I was like the wrong advisor for everything. And Wesley Snipes blows up. Everybody blew up. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
And just working with Goldie Hawn was like professional. I don't know. I was a bit of a troublemaker, you know, just very immature and doing what I did. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we don't make mistakes. I think after Wildcats, things changed for me. I really didn't. I think I was coming towards the end of something I didn't want to do anymore.
Mm-hmm. But during that movie, though, did you have to like train and get in shape and all that?
Yeah, everybody did. It wasn't like what they do today. You know, today I think it's a joke. I do know people do HGH and they have personal trainers and their bodies look amazing. I didn't have any of that. Nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm. And then you did. Mm-hmm. And then you did The Lawless Land, which is a great exploitation movie I like. How was that experience?
Yeah, at that point, I just was risking. And you know, I love what that girl that wrote Harry Potter said. She's got a great lecture called "The Gift of Failure," and nothing's a failure, but you know, hit and miss. If I were to, if we were to say that the criteria of success is that the movie has to make money, then no, I wasn't there. The Lawless Land was Roger Corman. I did 2 Roger Corman movies. Roger Corman was like the B movie maker.
Right.
He had this. He's hard to do now, but this whole the whole B side of selling movies on the cable was huge, and so he's kind of replicate a copy of. Kind of like China, you know, China.
Yeah.
Jack, I was honored to be part of the Roger Corman cast because he started everybody, Coppola, Jack Nicholson, everybody. So Corman, sort of towards the tail end, kind of does a takeoff on Mad Max. I get hired to play like a Mad Max character, but I'm a Latino in some South American dictatorship. We shoot in Chile.
Yeah.
During the Pinochet dictatorship. And Chile has a lot of desert, so it was kind of like post-apocalyptic. John Hess directed it, great guy. Xander Berkeley, who was in Terminator.
Great actor.
Great actor. I love Xander. And
Amanda Peterson.
Yeah, she passed away. I had no idea. I was so sad.
Yeah, that was really sad. She was great. In Can't Buy Me Love, she did that movie the year before.
Yeah, you know, she was underage on that film. And she was a sweetheart. Everybody was great on the film. It was like, but I went from like a studio picture to like complete. That's guerrilla filmmaking, you know, at its best.
Yeah.
Herman is like just a guerrilla, you know, he gives you like $1 and go shoot a movie.
Yeah.
So, you know, and everybody, John Hess made a miracle out of that movie. And then after that, I did another picture where I wanted to be a lead. I gave up being a sidekick on these studio pictures. And then that cost, because they closed the door on that one. And then I went to another lead movie, and that bombed. And then Slaves of New York, you know, things like that. Bombing. And then I've been able to hold the career, and then I didn't want to do it anymore. But I was able to do like 2 pictures a year in television.
Yeah.
I had a couple. It's like comebacks. I call them. Along Came Polly was my favorite. Atlas Shrugged was kind of a fun movie to make, and Spiritual Warriors. I started directing. I mean, there was,
Mm-hmm. You played the lead in Tropical Snow also, and you worked with David Carradine. What was that like?
It was great. That's that movie right after Lawless Land. I wanted to be a star, and I turned down Batteries Not Included for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
A Spielberg movie, which
Yeah.
I'm not judging myself for it, but I wanted to be the lead. Steven Spielberg was offering me a small part, whatever. Maybe I got greedy, who knows? But
Yeah.
I got the lead part in one movie with Madeline Stowe. So Madeline Stowe gets discovered from the movie we made,
Mm-hmm.
gets revenge, and her career blows up. Amazing.
Yeah, I interviewed David's daughter, and she told me, just how the guy just, everyone loved working with him.
David?
Yeah.
David's crazy, man. It's so sad to see him pass away. That was bizarre, what I heard.
Yeah.
But he's in, Kill Bill, the movie Kill Bill, that's David Carradine right there.
Yeah.
That's David Carradine.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's so great in it, though.
I mean, that's fucking David. If you want to know David Carradine, that's David Carradine. So I was like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Tarantino knows how to cast.
Yeah. And I also know that Tropical Snow was also Tim Allen's first movie. He plays a baggage handler.
You know what? He keeps denying that. I brought it up to him, denying shit. And I was like, so full of shit. But I did a Tim Allen. I love Tim Allen. He cast me in a pilot after around the '70s show, and we were on the same set, same company. Tim, I love working with him. He just loves me and such a great person and great director. And I kept telling him, dude, you're in this movie, and he's like, couldn't remember. I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
I was like putting him down a little bit. I'm like, when I was a lead actor in a film, you were like an extra.
Yeah.
Well, I was in Slaves of New York. I was the lead actor, and Steve Buscemi was just like a cameo. And he was nobody then.
Right. Do you have any memories of working on Predator 2?
Just that. That was more like I needed a job, and the casting director, what's her name, Lisa Beach, I forgot her name, but I was, it was between me and Judd whatever on Breakfast Club.
Judd Nelson.
Yeah, the casting director for that, I don't know her name, Beach, I think. She's good. I needed a job, and she remembered me and my antics on Breakfast Club audition.
Mm-hmm.
And like really amateur acting on my part. And I said I need a job, and she gave me a job. And I think the director is called Hopkins.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Stephen Hopkins. He actually directed Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5 the year before.
Yeah, he's a good guy. And it was just like a cameo. I'm walking, and I'm a cop, and I made money. That was it. It was strictly money.
Mm-hmm. So with all these roles that you did, and I mean, like you said before, you lost interest at some point, but you worked a lot though. You never really had to struggle, did you?
No, I never. I thank God. That's all I can say is, let me reframe it.
Mm-hmm.
People that love acting don't no such
Mm-hmm.
When you don't love it. When you don't love anything, you struggle. But that's what makes it adventurous, when you're an actor.
Yeah.
And you really love your job. You're not a victim, and you just love it. And determination is what makes you make it.
Right.
And once I stopped loving it, I didn't want to do it anymore. I don't artists, I like to put myself in the category of if you love what you do, you're going to be all right. And I did, and I was. I don't know what struggling is. Like Syria, 500,000 people got killed there. That's struggling.
Mm-hmm.
When you travel the world and you put everything into perspective, I don't feel sorry for actors. That's not struggling. Struggling is like right now in Argentina, they don't have any money. You know what I mean?
Right.
These kids. An actor doesn't. I'm sorry, an actor doesn't struggle. An artist, we get to do what we get paid to do what we love. It's a privilege. No such thing as struggling for me in the acting world. Because you're up, even when you audition, just to give you a reframe. And I don't want to make fun of actors that complain. But nothing to complain about. It really makes you into a masterful artist.
Mm-hmm.
You eventually get good at what you do. And the audition will make you into a man and a woman, and you'll be like, you eventually will be great. It's a system in which you master, or it masters you. But the worst thing you can do is become addicted or an addict of some sort, anything you love, and then that's a whole other game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you ever get maybe disenchanted by studio politics?
I don't get involved. I can give a shit.
That's good.
This whole thing with Trump, there's nothing wrong. It's like, if you get caught up in his stuff,
mm-hmm.
Idiot.
Yeah.
It's like, go on with your life. What are we doing? Getting up there, getting upset. If you want to do something about it, vote. Otherwise, shut up. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Oh my God! Every day on Facebook and Twitter, it drives me crazy. That's why I don't.
Life's too short for that, and part of the problem with most actors is they're just caught up in politics and not worried about the job.
Yeah.
One of the best actors out there is Jack Nicholson. All these great actors, they've been in and out of it. They don't mess around. They go in, get the job, get paid, and get out.
Mm-hmm.
Want to be a politician? Run for Congress or something.
Exactly. Now you said you occasionally do the HorrorCon appearances. Do you have any coming up that you know about?
I think I'm going to Kansas City next year. Crypto something.
Mm-hmm.
I like doing that. You get cash and you meet people.
Mm-hmm. You say it's way better than acting?
No, it's not. Like, you get to meet people, you know what I mean? And then it's not better than acting, no. But it's good. I mean, I don't want to move. So it's like this 3 days, meet people, they appreciate you, and you get paid.
Mm-hmm. Well, Jesus, I would love to meet you at a con someday, and I hope I get to. This has been such an honor, and I appreciate you taking the time today.
Right on. Love what you do and do what you love, man.
Absolutely. Amen to that. Well, you have yourself a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Just a plug for my book. I'm an author.
Okay.
I got a book called The Love of a Master, and it's a story of while I'm in the movie business, I have a spiritual teacher that works with me during the movies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He passed away, but I wrote a book, and I'm writing my second one. But if you can give it a good plug, it'd be great. It's called The Love of a Master. It sells on Amazon.
Love of a Master on Amazon.
The Love of a Master. Pretty awesome. And anyway, I directed 3 picks. The last thing that was my swan song was Mystical Traveler.
Mm-hmm.
3.5-hour documentary. I filmed it. It was awesome. It took me 3 years to make. I co-directed it with my teacher, John Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can plug that, it'd be great.
Okay.
Thank you, buddy, and it's great talking to you. Call me anytime you want.
Oh, thank you so much, Jesus. Feliz Navidad.
Thank you. Hasta luego.
All right. Well, there you have it. Jsu Garcia, a.k.a. Nick Corri. Ain't he a cool dude? Thank you so much, Jesus. It was such an honor. You're a great guy, and you have great stories, and I'm glad you finally found your place in the world post-acting with the documentary you made and the book you made. Check out his documentary and his book. And it's kind of sad that you don't want to act anymore, but hey, it's your choice. And I hope I get to meet you at a con in the near future. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all the time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!